On a brisk Monday morning, Angela Jackson stepped onto the number 23 bus, clutching her work bag and a stack of papers. The engine's hum blended with quiet conversations as passengers settled into their seats. It was a routine commute for Angela to her classroom of eager students. After paying her fare, she moved toward an open seat near the front, unaware that her morning was about to take a dramatic turn. A voice pierced the air, harsh and unyielding. "You can't sit here. Move to the back." The words froze Angela mid-step. Eyes turned toward her, some wide with shock, others quickly averted. The driver's tone carried a force that wasn't about enforcing rules, but asserting control. Angela glanced at him, her heart quickening, and realized this was more than a simple directive. It was a challenge to her dignity. Before we get into this story, take a moment to share where you're watching from in the comments. And if you enjoy stories like this, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for daily stories. Angela Jackson wasn't just any passenger. At 28 years old, she was a dedicated schoolteacher known for her empathy and belief in her students' potential. Her life was a testament to resilience, navigating daily microaggressions with quiet strength. From dismissive glances at the grocery store to hesitant interactions at work, Angela faced these moments gracefully, but they left their mark. That morning, she boarded the bus with her usual composure, focused on her day ahead. Yet, even the strongest resolve can falter in the face of public humiliation. Jack Thompson, the bus driver, saw his role as more than just transporting passengers. Curt and abrasive, Jack believed in maintaining order, a term that often blurred with his personal biases. To him, Angela wasn't a schoolteacher or a community pillar. She was simply another passenger who didn't belong in the front seat. When Angela chose her seat, Jack's gruff command shattered the morning's rhythm. "Move to the back. Those seats are reserved." Angela knew there was no such rule. She'd seen others sit there without objection. His words weren't about policy, they were about exclusion. The bus grew silent, every passenger waiting to see what would happen next. Some avoided her gaze, unwilling to intervene. Others murmured, their disapproval barely audible. Angela stood frozen, gripping her bag tightly, weighing her options. Should she comply and avoid escalation, or stand her ground and risk further confrontation? She'd faced these moments before, the subtle slights, the unspoken barriers. But this was different. This was public, undeniable and impossible to ignore. With steady resolve, Angela spoke. "I paid my fare like everyone else. I have the right to sit here." Her words were calm, yet firm, a quiet declaration that challenged the authority trying to diminish her. Jack leaned toward the intercom, his frustration mounting. "Not on my bus. Move, or I'll make you move." The tension grew. Passengers shifted uneasily in their seats, their discomfort palpable. A few began to speak up. "She's right," a middle-aged man near the back said. "She paid her fare. Let her sit." Another voice joined. "This isn't the 1960s. Leave her alone." But Jack wasn't backing down. His hand hovered near the intercom as he threatened to call security. Yet his authority was beginning to crumble. The faint sound of a phone recording filled the air. A young man seated near the front had begun documenting the incident, his expression neutral but resolute. "Put that away," Jack snapped, his voice faltering for the first time. "Just making sure everyone knows what's happening here," the young man replied calmly. The murmurs grew louder. Angela could feel the shift, a quiet solidarity forming among the passengers. She remained standing, her breath steady. She wasn't just defending herself anymore. She was standing for everyone who had ever been asked to accept less than they deserved. Just as Jack stepped forward, ready to escalate further, a voice from the back cut through the tension. "Driver, you're making a big mistake." The bus fell silent again as an older woman dressed in an elegant suit rose to her feet. Her calm demeanor exuded authority. Slowly she made her way to the front, her heels clicking against the floor. Jack turned, confusion replacing his bravado. "Who are you?" he asked. The woman pulled out a badge, holding it up for everyone to see. Elaine Foster, City Transit Authority. I've been riding this bus incognito to evaluate employee behavior, and this, she gestured toward Angela, is unacceptable. The passengers erupted in murmurs of approval. Jack's face paled as Elaine continued, her voice firm. Step off the bus immediately. Your actions are not only discriminatory, but a violation of transit policy. I will be filing a full report. Jack stammered, searching for a defense. I was just— Save it, Elaine interrupted. You're done for today. The applause began quietly, then grew. Angela finally exhaled, her grip on her bag loosening as Elaine turned to her. I'm so sorry you had to experience this. Thank you for standing up for what's right. Angela nodded, her voice steady despite the emotion bubbling beneath the surface. Thank you. With Jack escorted off the bus, Elaine addressed the passengers. Thank you all for your patience. This bus will continue its route shortly, and to those of you who spoke up, remember that your voices matter. The mood on the bus shifted. Angela finally took her seat near the front, her lesson plans still in her lap. As the bus rolled forward, she reflected on the morning's events. She hadn't sought to be a symbol or a leader. All she wanted was to sit where she belonged. Yet her choice to stand her ground had created a ripple effect, inspiring others to find their courage. She thought of her students and the lessons she hoped to impart. Sometimes, speaking up isn't just for you, she thought. It's for everyone who might face the same injustice tomorrow. This story isn't just about Angela. It's about the countless acts of quiet discrimination that happen every day, often unnoticed or ignored. Angela's courage serves as a reminder that standing up for what's right can inspire change, even in the smallest of moments. What would you have done in her shoes? Would you have spoken up, like the passengers who found their voices? Or would you have stayed silent, hoping the moment would pass? Angela's story challenges us all to reflect on our choices, to ask ourselves whether we dare to stand, even when it's uncomfortable. Because sometimes the smallest acts of resistance can create ripples that reach far beyond the moment. The next time you're confronted with a test of principle, what will you do? Because sometimes speaking up isn't just about correcting a single wrong. It's about lighting the way for others, so they too can find the strength to stand against the injustices they face. What choice will you make the next time you're confronted with a moment like this? That's a question only you can answer. Thank you for watching this heartfelt story. If it moved you, hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a moment of these daily stories that matter. Together, we can shine a light on justice, empathy, and the power of storytelling. Don't just watch. Be part of the movement. Share where you're watching from in the comments, and we'll see you in the next story that inspires change.